Hey there YouTube! So today I'm going to bring you a manga review, and it is for my new favorite manga series, Waiting for Spring by Anashin. This is a manga series that you've been seeing show up on my channel all of the time because I am obsessed. I cannot get enough of this manga series. I absolutely love it. I think I got it in the beginning of the year, the first few volumes, and I've just been obsessed ever since. So the first time this showed up on my channel was around February. I know I did a shoujo romance manga recommendations video, or a shoujo recommendations video, and I included Waiting for Spring in here, and I had only read maybe about the first 2 volumes of it, and I couldn't really figure out why I liked it so much, and this video is basically to tell you why I like this manga so much. So basically, if you didn't know, Waiting for Spring is a high school shoujo romance story. It's about our main character Mitsuki, and she's kind of wants to go into high school and make new friends and kind of challenge herself to be more open to other people. And she ends up meeting the 4 stars of her high school basketball team, and they become friends. There's also Mitsuki's childhood friend Aya. She hung out with Aya a lot as a little kid, and Aya really helped Mitsuki grow and become a little bit stronger as she was a kid. And then Aya moved away, and when Aya returns, she finds out that Aya is not a girl like she thought. Aya is definitely a boy and has always been a boy. It's a bit of a shock to her that way, but there's kind of a romance and a basketball plot that blooms between there and some of the other boys, and it's absolutely fantastic, and I love it so much. I think I read the first 2 volumes initially, and then I was like, I need more of this, and then I got the 3rd and 4th, and then I was like, wait, I need all of this, and I binge read the rest of it. So currently there are only 11 volumes out. Volume 12 comes out at the end of October. I'm not 100% sure how many volumes this is. I want to say 13 because a lot of stuff is 13 volumes, but I really hope that it's not 13 volumes because I definitely need more than 2 more volumes of this manga series. One of the things that I really love about this series is its blended plot. So it definitely has its romance plot, and it has a basketball plot too, as sort of a secondary plot or a secondary thing to care about. Personally, I really love things that are sort of blended genres. So for example, when I read fantasy books, if it has a romance in there, then I am all for it. I definitely love my fantasy with a little bit of romance, and this manga gives me romance with a sports manga plot. I always like to say that Waiting for Spring is my new favorite sports manga because it really is. The basketball plot in this is really strong. It's not an afterthought, and it's definitely an integral part to the characters and to the story. A lot of the times when you see a main character have a sport that they play, then it's kind of in the background. It's kind of like, oh, he just got back from basketball practice, and you never really see it. It's kind of more focused on the relationship aspect, but this focuses on more than just the relationship between the main love interests. The basketball scenes in here could rival any sort of sports manga. Honestly, there are not too many of them, but when they are there, they're very good. I find myself caring about the basketball games and the outcomes of them and how the boys are doing with their team. I'm rooting for them to win and not just the romance stuff. The basketball scenes are really thrilling, and I have a good time reading them. It's not something I'm just kind of trying to get through to get to the romance. I'm invested in this part of the plot. And I really like that it has a secondary plot to it, because then you don't just get the normal shoujo manga beats. You don't just get oh, it's a school trip and the summer festival and the school festival and things like that. It kind of breaks up the I guess sameness that high school shoujo manga can be. So I really appreciate the basketball plots for that, because it gives me something else to think and care about. And then all of the characters in this manga are really good. There's not a character that I hate or think is unnecessary. Everybody has their own personality, their own type, and they have their own goals and things like that, so I really like that. And people talk about their feelings in this, and they if they have a miscommunication, then they talk about it, what? I feel like that doesn't happen a lot. A lot of the times, like, miscommunications or not talking about your feelings is used as a plot device, and this really doesn't. All of the characters are really open with each other, especially like Toa and Mitsuki. You can really see how they're such a great pair is because they talk about how they're feeling. You know, if they need some time to think about it, then they let each other know that, like, oh, I need some time to think about this. Or if they feel like maybe one has been ignoring the other one, then they say that. But in Mitsuki's relationship is incredibly open communication wise. I feel like, you know, maybe you don't get enough of this with between Aya and Mitsuki, but I think that has to do with Aya's personality. Aya sort of steamrolls Mitsuki a little bit and kind of tries to make her speechless and tries to, like, not let her talk or really get out what she wants to say. He kind of confuses her a little bit, and that sort of like confusion, like, oh, who do I think I like want to be with, because there's definitely a rivalry in romance that way, is part of the plot. But ultimately she's able to kind of express how she feels and tell Aya, like, this is what I want. And then, of course, there's a relationship between the four main boys. Now, of course, these are boys that have had, like, a long history with each other. They, like, grew up playing basketball together in, like, Little League and stuff like that, and now they play high school basketball together. They're best friends, and they really do act like best friends. I feel like maybe a lot of, like, manga characters or stereotypes would be, like, boys don't really tell each other how they're feeling, but these guys really, like, come out with and say what they're saying. Like, Toa is a quiet character, but when he has something to say, he says it, and he, like, wants to know, he wants the support of his friends, so he communicates to them, like, his feelings and things like that, and I really, really appreciate it. It's like a really, like, nice moment in the manga. And this manga does have tropes. I feel like everything has tropes, but I feel like they're really well done and they don't feel, like, tired to me. Of course, it's got, like, your cute manga boys, but they're all, like, they all have really great personalities, and I don't think there's one that I don't like. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Aya, but I feel like he doesn't, yeah, I have problems with Aya, but I mean, like, I guess he's okay. But the four main boys are really, really awesome. Rivalry in it is really good between Toa and Aya. It's sort of like a basketball mixed with a love rivalry, which is really great. Or they, like, express their feelings through basketball, and, like, expressing feelings through sports is, like, I like that. There are a few negatives to this manga, but I feel like they don't really take away from the whole greatness that Waiting for Spring is. There is a thing where, like, all of the girls are like fangirls of the basketball team, and because they're all, like, super hot or whatever, and then one of Mitsuki's friends is one of these fangirls, and she kind of has this attitude of, like, nobody can date them, and I don't like that very much. I feel like maybe her friend, whose name I'm blanking on right now, is not the most receptive to, like, Mitsuki possibly being in a relationship with one of these boys. You see Mitsuki throughout the series be really afraid to tell her friend, but I feel like, so with all the support that, like, all the openness and stuff like that within relationships kind of falls flat with that sort of relationship. I really feel like with the way this manga is going, if Mitsuki just talks to her friend about her feelings, then her friend will eventually understand. Really can't wait to read more of it, and I never want it to end, but I know it's gonna have to at some point, and I'm scared that it's gonna happen soon. So yeah, I'm super glad that I just decided to pick this up, because the cover of the first volume was, like, really pretty, and all the covers are really nice. Everything is, like, really, like, aesthetic. Like, it's all right here on my shelf. Everything's got, like, a really nice, like, cover, and the art is super clean and super fresh, and I love it. I just love it. I can't stop saying that I love this manga so much. So definitely, if you're looking for a cute high school romance manga with maybe a little bit of sports manga thrown in, definitely check out Waiting for Spring by Anashin, because you will not be disappointed. Let me know in the comments if you've read Waiting for Spring and what you thought of it, or if you have any sort of shoujo manga recommendations that are sort of like Waiting for Spring. Please let me know, because I always want more shoujo manga. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want more manga and bookish and nerdy content content from me. That is all I've got for you guys today. I'm Chrissy Lou. Till next time, matane!